The only purpose I had in mind when I invented the Sven-Saw was that it be used on camping trips, basically. Not necessarily canoe trips, but camping in general, so that it could be folded up and slipped right into a pack sack and not damage anything or be damaged by anything. Treated with some respect, it'll last longer than the person who owns it. I'm sorry, it's designed to last a long time.
So I grew up in what's now the BWCA, and people would carry a saw or a hatchet and use a bicycle inner tube over the saw blade so that it wasn't sharp when they carried it.
The idea started on a canoe trip that I had invited my older brother and his two daughters to accompany me to the Boundary Waters. We were approaching the portage leading to our ultimate destination. On that portage, just as we were entering it, two guys are coming out, one with his foot all bandaged up. I said, "What happened?" And he said, "Well, I hit my foot with an axe." And it's at that point I thought, there's got to be a better way. The first model then was later that summer. Cecile and I were planning to go to Isle Royale for a camping trip, so I made one. I made a folding saw out of two pieces of electrical conduit. And that was the original Sven-Saw.
Dick was just so interested in how you put together a company and trying to get a patent. And it was a good thing that he kept going with it. And it all came together.
The following year, Cecile said, it would be good to go out to Seattle and visit my relatives, and there's a World Fair out there, and there's a Space Needle, and we could have a nice trip. I brought the saw along thinking, well, I wonder if someone out here might be interested. And I looked in the yellow pages of the Seattle paper, and there was a little 1-inch ad of Recreational Equipment Incorporated. Learned later that Recreational Equipment Incorporated at that time was actually Mountain Climbers Co-op. And this tall guy came around the corner. He said, "My name's Jim Whitaker. What can I do for you?" And I said, "Well, I'm Dick Swenson. I invented this thing, wondered what your customers might think about it." And he looked it over and he said, "Yeah." He said, "Why don't you send me 6? Jim Whitaker was the only employee of this co-op at the time. And that was 1962. 1963, Jim Whitaker is a part of the major National Geographic expedition to climb Mount Everest. The growth of the Sven-Saw has been gradual from the very beginning, but with an increasing acceleration. With the more we sold, the more we were going to sell. True with REI. It started out with one person in one store. REI grew, more stores, more saws.
The Sven-Saw was in a lot of sporting goods catalogs. The L.L. Bean catalog, Campmore catalog, and that was how it was advertised.
We get fun letters, and one of them came from a couple who got caught in a blizzard in Jackson Hole, and they had a Sven-Saw. They sawed up the rancher's log fence for fire to stay alive. There's a curiosity about how long it took for the product to take off. And I'll have to say we're still waiting.